Hey everyone, how you doing? Gil here at graymanprepping. Before we jump in here, there's a couple things I'd like to go over with you. First of all, in the last bit of that little clip we just saw there, it ended with prepping in private. That I'm putting in there just to remind everybody that when you're prepping and stuff, you don't have to go bragging about everything you have. You don't have to tell everyone everything you're doing. You can do it privately and not tell anybody anything. You can just tell a few close friends of a couple things you're doing, but don't spread it out to anyone, everything you're doing, because they're going to pass it on. Pretty soon there's going to be a lot of people know that everything you're doing. So you want to maintain some what's called OPSEC, operational security, and play it close to the chest on some of the stuff you have. Now you'll notice I talk about some of the stuff I have and what I'm doing and everything else, but I'm not talking about half of what I'm doing or half of what I'm having here. So there's, there's some stuff I'm putting out there, but there's a lot I'm not. All right, the next thing is, this is going to be the first in a series of video classes. I'm taking some of the courses I used to teach when I worked for Homeland Security on emergency preparedness, and I'm adapting it to YouTube. Because and when I used to teach it, I would teach it at a seminar, and it would either be an hour, hour and a half, or 2-hour class, at a shot. And so you don't want to sit here for that long. So I got to break these up into smaller segments, and hopefully I can get this under 20 minutes, and we'll be going good on that. The other thing is, share this out, please, on your social medias, to your friends, neighbors, family, anyone you think that might be interested in preparing. This might help them to get off the couch and start preparing. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please, down below here, there's a little red button that says subscribe on it. Click on it, then click the notification bell. That way you'll get notified whenever I post a video, if YouTube sends it out on time. Also, please, if you can give me a thumbs up, that helps me out with YouTube's analytics and gets my videos, shows that they're more popular and pushes it forward. Alrighty, so let's jump in here and get on with this here. So I'm going to make myself small and bring up this. This is not going to be death by PowerPoint. I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, but I'm just going to have some reminders up here on the side here to highlight what I'm talking about. The question is, why should I prepare? Well, I'm going to go through both some excuses that people give why they don't want to prepare and some reasons why you should be thinking about preparing. Now, I got 24 excuses that people have given me over the years. And these are excuses, not reasons. These are excuses on why they don't prepare. So let's go to it. I call a lot of these the deniers. They're denying that anything can ever happen to them. But you'll see which ones I'm talking about as we go through here. Now, 24 and 24A are almost the same, but I've heard a whole bunch of variants on this. I don't want to bug out to the mountains. I want to move to the desert. I want to move out. I don't want to move out to the plains. I don't want to go out on an island. My response is, who says you have to go anywhere? Prepare for where you're at and not plan on leaving. You should always have a backup plan just in case something happens. A good example of this is my friend Steve at Corsair Trainers. He's in Los Angeles. He doesn't plan on bugging out to the mountains or anything else when a disaster happens. Yet, when the wildfires came up and threatened his home, he was watching the news. He had everything ready. They went off somewhere, had a place to go to, waited there. When the all clear was given, they came back home. Everything was fine. They probably could have stayed there, but the air wasn't quite so good. But so that they left and came back. All right, number 23. Everything will be fine. Yeah, rose-colored glasses. Nothing bad ever happens to us in this area. I've yet to see an area that doesn't have something happen at some point or another. Okay, the odds of a disaster affecting me are too small. Everyone's been affected by the red dragon that came out last year. I refuse to give in to fear and paranoia. You're not giving into it by preparing. You're getting rid of fear and paranoia by preparing. If it does happen here, it won't affect me. Well, I want that person's magic wand. Well, if it does affect me, it won't be that bad. Well, I want his magic shield. If it is that bad, I can always get some emergency supplies anytime I need to. Yeah, right. I guess they weren't around in 2020 when you couldn't get toilet paper, hand wipes, hand sanitizer, mask, any of that stuff. Yeah. All right. Next group here. I only eat organics. Where do you get your organics? At the store. Yeah, if the store doesn't have it because there's no trucks running. I don't have the right skills. I can see someone saying this, but my response is, hey, here's a great opportunity for you to learn new skills. You should always be learning. I'm a vegetarian or I'm a vegan. What's that got to do with it? Well, I'm not going to store any meats or any of the other stuff that you guys store. Hey, you can store beans and rice and other stuff. This one I get a laugh out of. I live close to ground zero and will die in the first strike anyways. When was the last time there was a first strike on the United States? How many have there been? 0. But how many hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, wildfires have there been in the last couple of years? Here's another one I think is kind of funny. Zombies aren't real. And I've actually people tell me this. And I respond, well, lately I just respond and say, have you been looking at the idiots on TV, the rioters all going around together? All those Antifa guys? Yeah, they're zombies. I don't have enough time. And usually the ones that tell me this are the ones that are going to all the sports games, football, basketball, baseball, whatever, going out partying at night with their friends, but they don't have enough time. I'm too old. Hey, I've seen a lot of YouTube channels being started by older people that are in retirement, and they are still starting to prepare and getting stuff done. Go ahead, guys. Keep going. I've actually a couple said, well, I'll jinx it if I start prepping, and then bad stuff will happen. Bad stuff happens whether you prepare or not. Your preparing has nothing to do with it. Number 8, it takes up too much space. Hey, there are people in small apartments that have plenty of preps. Beans and Spam are yucky. Well, do you eat beans and Spam? No. Then don't store those. In the prepping community, we say, store what you eat what you store. In other words, if you're not eating it, don't store it. Only store what you're actually eating. It costs too much money. No. You don't have to buy all this high-speed, low-drag, freeze-dried stuff. If you're buying stuff at the store, when something's on super sale, buy a couple extra. Hey, you just prepped a little bit and you saved money. Someone else has prepped enough for the both of us. Really? Did you help him with money to help get his preps together? No. Then what makes you think that he's going to share them with you? Number 4, my friends and family will think I'm weird. Well, with what happened last year with the red dragon and what's going on this year, everything else, I bet your friends and family are on the sly, stocking up a little extra toilet paper, a little extra Clorox bleach, a little extra paper towels. They're stocking up a little bit more stuff, I bet. So they're not going to think you're weird. Number 3, I don't own any guns and I don't know how to shoot them. Who says you have to have guns? It's something nice. It'd be, hey, I don't have a big 4-wheel drive. It'd be nice, but I don't have one. So if you're worried about someone taking what you have, there are other options besides guns. Bows and arrows, atlatls. I've done several videos on options other than having firearms. All right, next one here. This one really ticks me off. My faith will save me. God will provide. And I tell people that tell me that, go read the New Testament where Christ is away on the mountain and being tempted by Satan. And he says, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. By doing that, just saying that God's going to save me. I don't have to prepare. You're tempting him. Wrong thing to do. All right. Number 1 reason that I hear, or not reason, excuse I hear people give that is utterly stupid. It's okay, even if there's a disaster and I can't buy emergency supplies, the government will step in and take care of everything. Yeah, right. Like they were able to take care of everything for Katrina and Rita And down in Puerto Rico, when it had its problems, the government can't even take care of itself. What makes you think it's going to come in and take care of everything? The only time, and when the government does try to step in and take care of everything, bad things happen. Look at Germany and Russia. When they came in and took over everything, bad things happened. All right, 12 reasons why you should really consider prepping. Number one, don't believe the mainstream media stigma about preppers. Preppers are not doomsday crazy hopefuls. They are normal people with open eyes and have a better view of the world and actually have a good idea of what's going on around them. You know, a lot of people saw the problems coming back in January last year with the Red Dragon, and we're ready for it. So, number 11, you can't predict what will happen or when. No, you can't. There will always be hurricanes. There will always be earthquakes. There will always be wildfires, ice storms. You can't predict them, but it's a good reason to get ready and prepared for them. Ask anyone down in the South that's affected by hurricanes. They always have stuff ready. It's easier than you think, and it can be fun, and it'll make you feel safer. Is our supply system reliable? Look what happened last year when there were problems when some of the fuel truck stops shut down because they were ordered to, so people wouldn't be spreading the Red Dragon, and trucks couldn't get through. Sudden man-made disasters, riots. Look at Portland. Local emergency versus worldwide. Everyone thinks, oh, the disasters are going to be worldwide. If that's what you're preparing for is worldwide disasters. No, we're preparing for local emergencies. Are hurricanes worldwide? No. Earthquakes worldwide? Do they happen worldwide at once? No. Tornadoes. Are there tornadoes everywhere at once worldwide? No. They happen locally, and that's what you prepare for. Now, interestingly, we have lost 5,000 years as a society in whole. We've lost 5,000 years worth of skills in the less than 200 years, ever since the Industrial Revolution came forward. A lot of jobs have been disappearing. Blacksmiths, tinsmiths, silversmiths, goldsmiths, the fabric, I forget what the factories and stuff, where you make all the fabric stuff, all the people were running the looms and stuff. Hey, machines do it all now. The skill, when the machines aren't running, do you know how to make fabrics? Natural disasters come on Mother Nature's schedule, not ours. We can't plan for the everything to when it's going to happen. So we can't say, oh, Mother Nature, no, earthquake next week. Wait for the following week to do it. Then I'll be ready for it. Doesn't work that way. So you need to prepare now. Professional politicians are trying to create a class system in the United States, and with a lot of us as basically a serf, or the worker bees on the bottom, and the professional politicians, that's all they do is politics. They've never had a real job. They run, they'll say, oh, we'll take care of everything. We got Social Security for you. We got unemployment for you. We got a welfare system for you. We got all these stimulus checks for you. We're going to take care of everything. You just go do your job. If you can't pay anything back to the government, we'll put you in a work camp. Quickly changing economies, employment situations, and post-work future. Everyone remembers the housing bubble popping in 2008 and the dot-com bubble popping. And if you retire, who's going to say that your retirement fund, your 401k, is still going to be worth what it is now, and that the stock market's not going to go, and it's going to be worth a lot less? A reason to prepare? Well, the Boy Scouts model is be prepared. They've been doing it for over 110 years. They are a respected and authoritative group when it comes to preparedness. You don't hear people calling them a bunch of whack job doomsday survivalists. They've been teaching preparedness for life for 110 years. Not just about camping, not just about life saving, but other aspects as well. Just see how many merit badges there are for life. All right, peace of mind is the #1 reason. There's a saying: if you are prepared, you shall not fear. If you're prepared, you'll have peace of mind, and things will go along a lot better. All right, I'm going to bounce back here and cover some other things real quick here. Immediate reasons that you should start preparing. There's natural disasters, incompetent man-made disasters, and purposely crafted disasters. I'm going to cover some of these a little bit more here real quick. Wildfires, floods, hurricanes, tsunamis, volcanoes, crop failures, extreme temperatures, windstorms, lightning strikes, tornadoes, earthquakes, ice storms, droughts, coronal mass ejections causing an EMP, all natural disasters. These can happen anytime, immediately. Incompetent man-made disasters. This is where somebody screws up and does something wrong one way or another. Dam failures, refinery failures, grid failure, water supply failure. Think Flint, Michigan on that one. Dangerous good transportation. Everything that's traveling by highway, gasoline, all your pesticides, everything else that's being transported either on the highway or by rail. Think accidents. Product recall. A big company is making this product and somebody screws up in the design department or whatever, doesn't do something right. And now they got to recall everything. And the company can't cover the cost of all the recall, and the company goes bankrupt. Everyone gets laid off. The company's providing supplies for them. Now they've lost a source of where they've been selling supplies to, and now they got to cut back on their production, and they lay people off. Oh, accidental weapons launch. Yeah, someone could be an idiot and push the button in the wrong spot. Not likely, but I told a friend I'd put it in there. Purposely crafted disasters. Economic downfall. It's happened in other countries. Pathogen releases. Poison releases. Grid collapsed. Cyber attacks. Hijacking crap. All of these have happened in other countries. Some of these have happened here. Remember 9/11. Shortages. That's happened here last year. Certain manufacturers and producers of stuff decided to hold back supplies from the market. And when prices went up, then they started trickling release stuff. And what's the price of wood now compared to what it was 2 years ago? EMP, fortunately, that has not happened. Electromagnetic pulse. Okay, long-term reasons for preparing. Things that are going to happen quickly. They could happen out years down the road, but you want to be prepared for them. Natural disasters, everything we just talked about. Everything we just talked about. Everything we just talked about. These are reasons for long-term preparedness. Now, there's some other things here we want to talk about here. In prepping, you gain knowledge. Knowledge makes you feel better. You learn skills. Knowing skills makes you feel better. Saving money. Saving money makes you feel better. Wait a minute. How do you save money by spending it on preps and stuff? Okay, here's an example. You're studying up on skills you need to have. You're reading books. Why don't you get the knowledge, you practice the skills. Say it's one is plumbing. Say another one's woodworking. You have your water heater goes out. You don't have to call a handyman to replace it. You can go down to your Home Depot or Lowe's, get a hot water heater and change it out yourself. You have a pipe break. You know how to fix it. You have a sewer clog. Hey, you know how to fix it. The kids are roughhousing and they crash into the door and break the door jamb and everything else. Hey, you've studied woodworking and stuff. You know how to fix it. All right, let's look at some other things here. Having fun. There are emergency preparedness fairs you can go to. There are get-togethers that groups have where they talk about preparedness things you can do, and they have little classes. You can make some really good friends. Now, preparedness friends are usually the ones that stick by you. You can become part of a national community here on YouTube, on Facebook, other social media outlets, and you become friends with these people, and they share their knowledge with you, and as you learn stuff, you can share it with them. And you'll feel better about yourself because you're in a better place, and you'll feel less stress. And you're able to weather shortages. Say you're all stocked up on sanitary needs, and suddenly a plant that produces all the sanitary supplies catches on fire. Hey, while they're retooling, rebuilding, you have supplies. So whatever the reason that motivates you to start prepping, don't get tunnel vision on that one topic. Don't get what pilots call target fixation, where all you can see is the airplane you're flying after, and you don't see his buddy coming up after you. Don't fixate on just one thing. Be a well-rounded person that prepares for life. Prepare for multiple things. Just be prepared in general, because life is messy and it throws all sorts of weird things at you. Now, before I end this here, I want to cover a couple points here. This was number 1 in the series. The next one coming out will be number 2, and it's called "Is It Too Late to Start Prepping?" We'll talk about things why it's not too late to start prepping. Also, I have coming up here at the end, there'll be a short little 20-second blip that shows several of the videos. You can just click on them, and if you're interested in preparedness videos that you might be interested in. All righty? So everyone, as always, stay happy, stay safe, stay prepared. If you can, grow a garden, and I'll see you in the next video.